Hello Cancers, and welcome to your reading. I imagine this is going to be pretty tight to the 1st of September. I wanted to do all the signs in advance and I wasn't able to, but here it is. So I meditated on your energy and I pulled the first layer of cards like usual. And what came out? The first three letters, first three cards, is what Spirit wants to talk about. Here, those two came together. I have the Queen of Pentacles and Judgment. You could be making a judgment on your value, your solidity, on a earth sign maybe. But this is our solidity in where we are, our abundance, our capacity to nurture and be nurtured, all that the earth means here. Queen of Earth, Queen of Pentacles, the feminine side. So it's that security, and you're making a judgment on that. After that, I have the Six of Swords. That judgment, that understanding, because judgment is this rising from the ashes, the trumpet of the angel announcing something. This enlightenment, it can be all sorts of things, a download, understanding that brings you to a higher level, makes you go to calmer waters. There could be a movement. You could be leaving something behind. And then after, I have the Four of Swords and the King of Pentacles. King and Queen of Pentacles. We can be talking about soulmates here. Healing from a soulmate that you had to leave behind. That can be it. How it comes up in your month. I have here again leaving with the Knight of Cups. So that judgment is that realization that the cups you've been living until that point are not fulfilling anymore. And it's that will to go on a quest, because he's going on a quest in the night within himself, to find that Ace of Cups or that Two of Cups, to make a 9 or a 10 of Cups. And here is the movement card that came with it. Knight of Cups. Under the Six of Swords, I have the Seven of Swords and Temperance. So that could easily be the healing of the Seven of Swords. Maybe you felt disempowered in that past situation. It is because the Six of Swords, Seven of Swords, it's when, in the night he went and stole the swords. So it could be that at this point, having Temperance here, you understand the bigger picture, the lessons that were in it, the alchemy of life. And so you're making that move. But maybe for some of you, you will make it as a strategy to get out of your situation. Maybe you have to do it subtly. And others, this is the healing of what you have lived in the past there that you put a judgment on, which was a situation where you were powerless, where sometimes we're with people that pushes our weaknesses and enhance them. And so we're kind of facing situations or people where we have no arguments, we're always caught empty-handed, and feeling like the events are influencing us instead of us acting on events. under the healing from that King of Pentacles. For some of you, this could be work also, because, you know, the Pentacles is money, is that can be your resources, finding, you know, deciding that where you're working, it is not satisfying, you're moving, retracting yourself, healing from it. And then under, I have the Three of Wands. And so anyway, from the decision you make at this point of moving on, there you are at the Three of Wands, ready to receive what is coming towards you. Under that, I have the King of Wands. So whatever that decision is mastered, it's like deciding here you're controlling your fire. I have the Two of Cups, and I have the Empress. So that could easily be gaining back your feminine power. Under the deck, I have the Pope, the Hierophant, so Taurus, but also discernment. And so anyway, we're going to clarify. I call upon Spirit. I call upon the light. I call upon my guides. Help me clarify this reading for Cancer for the month of September. Cancer for the month of September. One more. Cancer for the month of September. Okay, talk to me about the judgment. What is the judgment that Cancer is doing? Show me the judgment. Cancer. For the month of... Oh, yeah, the judgment is really finishing something. You're ending something. You're transforming that dynamic that wasn't serving you at all. Queen of Pentacles. Whoops. I'll take the ones that were up. I have Temperance again. I have the Moon. And I have the Six of Pentacles. So that situation was unfair. It wasn't equal in the give and take. And under the Moon here, and Death and Moon like that, it's an inner quest you're doing. Understanding that this was unfair, that it was part of the lesson. You see the bigger picture. You're going on that quest under the Moon here. The Eight of Cups is under the Moon. So as soon as there's the Moon part, we're talking about an inner quest that can be reflected outside also. Because when we decide to leave a situation, of course it's going to show up in the 3D. But first we have to do it inside. In a sense, if you don't do it inside at the same time, you can pull someone out of a situation, but if they didn't leave it inside, they're going to go right back into it. You're doing it inside as well as outside. And here, that quest, you see, in Cancer, you're going to go on that path. Even if you don't know exactly where you'll end up, you just know that you have to do it. And that is what is giving you the opportunity to see those two pillars. By crossing those two pillars, it gives you the opportunity to end, transform, purify something. That situation per se. Six of Swords. Oops, I'm going to put those back in. So it was the Sun and the Ten of Swords. See, you got the clarity on. You couldn't take any more of this. This was the end of that cycle. And you get the clarity on it. Six of Swords. Six of Swords for Cancer for the month of September. There you go. See that movement here with the Knight of Cups? There it is with the Six of Swords. You're doing it emotionally and you're doing it mentally. Keeping the lessons with you. Rebalancing your mind. That movement is going to rebalance your mind. Show me the Four of Swords. No? Show me the King of Pentacles. Okay, for some of you, we're talking about work. A change of work. A change of what you do. What brings pentacles to you. A change of company. A change of something like that. And there's like a healing. The Eight of Pentacles can also be working on oneself and starting to see results. Working on our solidity, our capacity to be prosperous, to be abundant, to be solid. Or if we're talking about work here, retracting yourself from where you were working and healing, understanding what went wrong in how you invested and put your energy in what you got out of it. Four of Swords. Ooh, that's a lot. But see, there's that grieving. Because this, even if we know it's for the best of us, and that we were in a situation where we were powerless, we were hurt, it wasn't fair, even leaving a situation like that, there's grieving. There's that moment of acknowledgement that that situation wasn't giving anymore. The cups are on the floor. I have the Ace of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, and the Three of Pentacles. 1, 2, 3. And this is the process of, for something new to come in, you have to let go of the old way of Pentacle in order to build something solid with that Ace of Pentacle. 1, 2, 3. And that is probably what you will understand. And also that by doing this, you're opening the door to receive a new Pentacle. By letting go of the past, of the way of building things. This looks a lot like work, but it can be emotional, it can be relationship or whatever. But it's like emptying a vessel to be able to fill in another one. As soon as we act on the understanding, we're creating space. This, I understand the lesson. I am acting on it because I don't want it anymore in my life. You're creating an empty space. There, the universe can fill it again. If you leave a situation without having understanding it, it's going to fill it with the same thing. If you leave a situation by understanding it, understanding your value, understanding how working on something and the energy we put in, that is what builds up something, then it's going to bring you a new opportunity at another level. But with the Two of Pentacles there in the middle, you still, if you don't want to repeat the same cycle, you have to really let go of the old way. Center yourself and accept that new opportunity. Pentacles can be anything. Okay, let's see here. Eight of Cups with the Prince of Cups. Clarify this. Because you got discernment. You're deciding to cut the bullshit. You took your pain, transformed it into wisdom, and decided to act upon it. You are going to protect your your heart with your discernment, with your sword of truth, your sword of understanding. So that tells me that you truly understood this. And that's why there's the Six of Swords, because the Queen of Swords is making the action, therefore bringing the wisdom with her. What was that Seven of Swords for Cancer? What was that Seven of Swords? Talk to me about the Seven of Swords. Maybe that situation removed any prospect from you. Like a stale, it was a stale situation. Nothing was coming from it. Nothing. Because Seven of Swords and Three of Wands. Three of Wands is when we expect something and things come to us. Seven of Swords, being cheated by that. I have the Nine of Swords there, bringing only worry, not beautiful things from the decisions and the actions. And that's why you have to leave. That's why you have to leave. Nothing was coming out of this situation anymore. And what is that Three of Wands there? Twice. So see, now I have a Page of Cups. By doing this, now what is coming in those boats is Page of Cups. That means when and the Magician, you're getting back your power to manifest, and you're starting with the cup. So the Page of Cups is the first one to grab the Ace of Cups. And Ace of Cups is like a new way of receiving love, contentment, peace, serenity. So what, by doing this, you're receiving this, and it's filled with possibilities, and you're starting to walk on that new path with a new heart. And that is, you know, on every level of our lives. When we work, we have to have our heart in it, like in relationships, dynamics, or whatever. So what is that King of Wands? What is that King of Wands? Is it somebody new coming in? Oops. Not quite. But I have the Pope there again, so... Oh, Six of... My God. Six of Cups. That King of Wands, and I have the Devil here. That King of Wands could have been that relationship you were dealing with. When we say signs, don't get hooked on the signs. Whether you were dealing with a Taurus, with a Aries, Sagittarius, whatever, it's more an energy. Because you know, because that would mean that only water signs can bring their heart into something, and that's not true. Only air sign can have discernment and intelligence. That's not true. So it's just an energy. It's somebody can be a water sign and be very grounded. They're gonna come up as a pentacle. So here we're talking about the person from the past that might have been very passionate, that might have been very fiery, whatever the sign he is. And here with the Devil, it could have been somebody that you really were hooked on. You were maybe very passionate about, or maybe very dependent about. That can be someone. It can also be a job, when we're afraid to leave a job because we're dependent on what it offers us financially, but emotionally it drains us completely. that is a dependence. That's one of his illusions. But here it's a dynamic from the past that you see that you were losing in. And maybe it was all happening in the moon. That means maybe that was something that was all happening inside of you. And you see that it wasn't give and take. It wasn't a reciproque. So you're changing it and going into a new situation. There was no stability in this. Pentacles, pentacles. Even if it was a soulmate. We have many soulmates, and some of them come to give us a lesson. We choose before the lessons we're going to have and the ones that are going to give it to us. Once you truly understand that, and that gives you the opportunity to forgive and move on, and even to reconnect later on, knowing what both of your roles were in the growth here. But anyway, so we're talking about somebody that may be a soulmate of yours that you were really passionately hooked on. And I have the Two of Cups here. Show me the Two of Cups. Ooh, okay. So I have the Seven of Swords again. I have the Emperor, three major arcanas. The Emperor, the High Priestess, and Justice. So whatever that character was, your Emperor, or the Divine Masculine inside of you, outside of you, it wasn't an equal exchange of emotion. It wasn't healing. You were losing your power, your energy. It wasn't up and up. You're making a judgment on that, or judgment comes down because of your intuition. And also having the High Priestess here, for a lot of you, maybe this is all happening inside. And outside, you know, maybe people around you won't even notice anything. For some of you, it's going to be a big change, but very obvious. But some of you, this could all happen inside. Judgment. There's the Sword of Understanding. There's the decision again about the Emperor. And here, Empress, by doing that, see, I have the Six of Swords, that moving on, that is right under here. That decision. Empress. By choosing yourself, choosing to grab your own power, to move towards working on yourself. Even if... Here, healing. Healing, healing. You're healing your Divine Feminine at the same time. When you're talking with about, you know, the mirroring of two people, even if we see the potential of the other one, of how everything could be, and all of that, as long as we sacrifice ourselves just for the sake of being around the other, or having them in our energy, or having that situation like that, if we sacrifice part of ourselves, and the Seven of Swords can be that, that dynamic can never be healthy. By letting it go, choosing yourself, healing your Divine Feminine, because your Divine Feminine in a situation where it wasn't equal give and take like that, where you weren't receiving, you weren't feeling solid, your Divine Feminine was probably screaming at you inside, telling you, this is not good. She's the one that listens to the soul and the inner child and communicates it to your Divine Masculine inner. Everything has to happen inside of you before it happens outside. So by denying your own inner feminine, how can you be with a balanced relationship outside? So all of that is going to readjust your divine feminine by making that judgment on your divine masculine and leaving, choosing you. And that is the discernment that is happening. And here I have the Two of Wands, putting you in that decision that will be much more aligned, star, with your stars. It is maybe going to be hard, but by rebalancing your Empress and acting on it, therefore your Emperor, own Emperor, acting on it, see how it makes that beautiful triangle here. And that's why you're walking with a new heart. You're healing your divine feminine and opening up the opportunities in front of you that will be much more aligned with your stars. So Cancer, leaving an uneven situation to choosing yourself, and ultimately that's the best decision we can do, even for the other one, because entertaining something that is disbalanced prevents the other one to heal and to grow also. So I'm gonna wish you a beautiful month of September, all my love and light. I want to thank you for all your comments and share and subscribing, and also for your donations. I decided to do a special ceremony for the ones of you that donated every the 15th of the month and the last day of the month, to give you back energetically. Do a little ceremony with the universe so that the flow can go back to you. And so on these days, I tell them in advance, you can open up to receive. And this is going to be my way to thank you on this Namaste, love and light. And see you next month, I hope a bit earlier. Okay? Bye-bye.